Alrighty, so for our spiral kinematics activity 28, the car initially traveling at 20 meters per second to the east accelerates toward the west at 2 meters per second squared. At the same time that the car starts, it trucks 60 meters west of the car and moving at 16 meters per second towards the east, starts to move faster, accelerating at 1 meter per second per second. It's a one-lane road and both drivers are too busy fiddling with their CD players to notice each other. So the first thing I did for this one was draw my motion diagram. So the top arrows, this would be the truck, and the bottom is showing the car. And I use the acceleration with the arrows pointing in either direction to show whether they're speeding up or slowing down. So once we have that drawn, I like to plot all of the things that I know. So I know time 1 for the truck is 0, position 1 for the truck is also 0, the velocity for the truck is 16 meters per second, and we also know that the acceleration is 1 meter per second per second. And for the car, the initial time is 0 seconds, the initial position is 60 meters, the initial velocity is 20 meters per second, and the initial acceleration or deceleration is 2 meters per second per second. So for this one, we needed to find time 2, position 2, and velocity 2 of both the car and the truck. So we are going to use the equations for velocity and for position. So on here I don't show all of my algebra. I do that in my notebook so that I don't have a bunch of work written on here, but you can see here is my velocity equation written out for the truck, and then here's my position equation written out for the truck as well, and then the same thing for the car down here. We're also looking for time, so what I did is I took the two position equations and set them equal to each other because they both stop or collide at the same time. So they're going to have the same time too. And so once I set those equal to each other, I moved everything over to one side and then used the quadratic formula to solve for time 2, which was 7.79 seconds. So that was time 2 for both the truck and the car. And then once I found that, I just plugged that back into my equations for velocity. And I found for the truck, the velocity was 23.797 meters per second. And then I plugged it back into the equation for the car, and I found the velocity for the car to be 4.404 meters per second. And then I did the same thing with position, but you only need to do that with one of the position equations because they both travel the same distance. So yeah, that was Spiral Kinematics Activity 28. Hope you guys enjoyed.